Hi, how are you? If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and hashtag moment. I greatly appreciate you taking the time with me. And if you're watching this live, let me know where you're tuning in from. I would love to say hi to you. My name is Katie Thrower. I am a full-time, busy working mom of three little boys under 6.5, and I love to come share tidbits of my life in order to not only inspire women to gain back the bodies they had prior to having children or whatever body they want to have, but also to really help build and create their own success stories because we are all so much more than moms, and I just want to bring it out in them. So that today is Inspire Spark Monday. This series has really been inspired because working in corporate America, I've noticed, and it's been, we've had lots of discussions on people. We don't train leaders until they get the title. They don't get the title. Once they get the title of supervisor or manager or VP or director or whatever it is, that's when leadership training really starts. But in reality, if we actually started training from day one on leadership skills, basic leadership skills, everyone would be able to have inspire and be part of a huge team and really help kind of lift up corporate America exponentially. So, today I wanted to talk about how to mentor the right way. I don't know, have you ever read a book where it's just like, that's exactly the way I've been thinking, the way I've been talking, the passion that comes out when I talk about it. It's all written in one book. That is this book. This is called Spark, and it's by Angie Morgan, Courtney Lynch, and Sean Lynch. And every chapter I get to, I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm saying. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit about mentorship and really help, maybe put a little spark in your ear about what is the necessity of a mentor, right? A lot of times when we get into corporate America, everyone's like, you need to find a mentor. You need to find a mentor. Well, what if your first mentor from day one, when you got out of college, your very first job, or whenever you entered into a company, your very first company, your mentor was your first manager? Whoever hired you in, your manager was your first mentor, and they helped develop you. And then they started introducing you to people. And then they started mentoring you. And then you, as people started coming into the company, you started mentoring everybody. Could you imagine that if everyone took ownership for their development, their leadership, everyone could be a mentor? Everyone has value. Yes, I'm talking to you. You have value, and you may not feel it. You may not think it, but just imagine when you have kids, you're teaching them things, you're training them, and you're trying to guide them down the right path. That's value. And you have the same type of value when you're in the workspace. And so this one is, one of the quotes, I just had to read it because it's like this, is that leader-led, peer-led, and employee-led programs are the future. It's the best way to ensure that managers are aligned with their company cultural initiatives and that every leader is engaged in leadership dialogue. Everyone is prepared to mentor and coach leadership development. And this was taken because these authors were actually started out in the military. And what really was great when I read this book was that, when people start out in the military, everyone goes through basic training. What makes it different when we go to corporate America? Everyone should go through the same basic training. Now, basic training as in, within corporate America, kind of where to find things, filling out the right paperwork. But what if we all went through the same leadership training as well? Here is the kind of expectations we have within the corporation, within our company, and how we really want to empower and encourage everyone to have an opinion, to voice their concerns, to voice their ideas and think outside the box. Can you imagine if you were encouraged to actually speak up and tell your ideas, that how many more ideas we would actually see? It's amazing what possibilities could be. And it's the same like in military, right? So in the military, they all go through basic training. Not only are they going through physical training, but every single one of the recruits or the soldiers, they're all going through a leadership training as well. And they're all expected to lead. Now, over time, each of those recruits or soldiers, once they get out of basic training, then, there's some people that want to lead more and they actually take an initiative. And then there's other people that are like, you know what, I'm more comfortable having someone lead me. But the expectation is that every single person is a leader and they know exactly what's expected of them and what kind of reactions they need to have when they're out in the battlefield, right? So, I wanted to talk about this and how to mentor the right way is that if we started from day one mentoring as managers, we mentor new employees, our direct reports, instead of waiting for them to go in and volunteer into a separate program, maybe meet a higher leader in the company that would mentor them and guide them towards their career development path throughout the company. If they selected, or if they, once they started in the company and their first manager helped them identify leadership qualities, things that are expected of them when they're in meetings, how we want them to step up and step out of the box when, and express their ideas. If they started that way from day one, then when they finally developed and grew as leaders and they became a manager or a supervisor, then they would know exactly how to mentor everybody. In corporate America, a lot of times we are lacking in and wanting people to develop us. We want people to show us what else is possible, how else we can expand our views, our view in the corporate, where should we go in our next step in our future. And if we had our managers, our direct managers from day one, starting that mentorship, then not only do you have that first manager, then you have your second manager, and all of a sudden you start building your network and it grows and grows and grows. And it's just, how amazing would that be? I don't know how about you guys, but how many of you are actually in dialogue with your very first manager? Probably not a lot of you, unless you had a really great manager that really invested in your career. I actually have a few managers that I trust and that I go to, and they were managers of mine beforehand. And I know that I can go to them because they actually invested into me. Now, the ones that didn't invest into my personal growth, not as close to, right? And so can you imagine how awesome of a company that would be, is that if your manager from day one and every single manager you had afterwards invested in your career, and then you could bring back and invest in their career too. It's also, mentorship is a two-way street. And so I wanted to encourage you to not only take an interest in whoever you are supervising or, leading, but also to take an interest in the people that are supervising you and help guide them and mentor them in ways, because everyone can learn from everybody. And it's just having that spark and desire in there. So, I just hope that was just a little bit of some information and insight on how you can really take mentorship to the next level and how to mentor the right way. And that is, whoever you're around, whoever you're surrounding yourself with, whoever you're working with, if you're working in corporate America, if you're working in your own side hustle, whatever you're doing, whoever you're working with and whoever is in your circle, mentor, explore, share your value with them, because once you start doing that two-way street, rising tides lift all boats. And if you remember that, as everyone is growing and you're growing and they're growing, everyone starts rising together. So I hope you guys find some value. If you do, please go ahead and hashtag value. I greatly appreciate it. If you feel that someone needs to hear this and you want to share this, go ahead and share this. This is a public video and anyone is free to share it away, share it into your teams and everything else. So I hope you have a great day. I'll be talking to you tomorrow with a Tech Tip Tuesday. Have a nice night. Bye.